Back in September, Haloview sent me a wireless backup camera to be installed in my truck camper. Today, I will show how the install was done with the help of Louis of the Rolling Our Ship YouTube channel, who completed the install for me. Haloview has both wired and wireless backup camera models. I chose the wireless model because I wanted a camera that I could use while driving and backing up while using my truck camper for better visibility. My reason for choosing the wireless is that it gives me the ability to bring the LCD monitor into my RV when I am inside, so I can also use it as a rear-facing security camera. Because I don't always want the camera on, my install includes custom separate switch to turn on and off the power to the camera when I am not using it. This is a custom install for an RV of my size. Keep that in mind when purchasing the camera for your size rig. You may have to purchase additional wiring for your size RV. The first step is to decide where to install the camera in the rear for the best range and visibility. That means Louis sets up the wires that will connect the camera to my fuse box for power from my solar panels. Having power means we can see the LCD screen and find the best place for the rear placement of the camera. Now that we have a good idea of where to affix the camera on the rear of the camper, we bring the truck as close to the camper in order to see if the wireless range antennas of both the LCD monitor and camera communicate with each other. My camper was off the truck, but if yours is on or you have a trailer, you will need to be in driving position distance to make sure the range is enough for the wireless models.
This is the wire that came in the packaging. You got this wire connected to the camera, and then the wire connected to the camera connects to this one. And this is the extended wire that they provide. And then it has the bare cables here to connect to something else. To connect to power, in this case, we would be connecting them to these 10 gauge wires. Now the 10 gauge is overkill for this, but this is what we got, and because of the distance, it's better to have 10 gauge than to have less. Now, I am not going to use this wire because I'm going to use these cables to go all the way back to the fuse box. I also am not going to use this here because the same wire that's on this one here is also on this one. I'm going to cut this here. I'm going to I'll make a hole big enough just for this cable, run this through the wall, and then I'll separate the cables like these here, and then I'll attach these cables, my cables, the black and the red, directly to here. And then we're going to have a switch on the wall so you can turn this monitor on and off with a switch, and we'll bypass all these other cables.
For a truck camper, the wire provided is not enough wire. You would need more of an extended
Correct.
wire.
This wire here, if I were to use, let's say I wanted to use this, but there's not enough length of cable to go all the way to the fuse box.
Right.
Eventually I have to run a cable to the fuse box anyway. So if I'm going to run a cable to the fuse box, I'm going to run it a little bit longer, remove this here, it's not going to be necessary, and run right to this cable here.
So you're going to splice that.
Here goes nothing. This is what we have. So
when you cut it open.
right, I'm going to run this through the wall, and then I'm going to attach my wires to these wires. I want to find the exact diameter for this cable. I don't want to make the hole on the camper bigger than necessary. So once I find the correct diameter, then I can use that drill bit to drill through the wall.
Louis makes some practice holes in a scrap piece of lumber in order to find the correct size drill bit he needs for the size of the wires to pass through in the truck camper. Once he has found the correct size drill bit, he places the camera bracket on the camper to mark where he will need to drill a hole. This is so that the camera wire can go through the outside of the camper into the inside of the camper. Now it is time to permanently affix the camera bracket. He positions the bracket on the camper and carefully lines up the hole for the antenna wire already drilled on the camper to the hole for the wire that is on the bracket. He then will mark the 4 corner screw holes where he will screw in the bracket to the camper permanently. Now it is time to mount the camera to the attached bracket, but first pull the wire through from the outside to the inside of the camper and make any adjustments to your camera before tightening it to the bracket. Louis decides to cover the wires on the wall with this cord hider product, and then he extends the wire through my cabinets and under my refrigerator cabinet until he reaches the fuse box. Because I want to use the camera for security as well when I am in my camper, Louis installed an on and off switch where I can turn the camera on or off from inside the camper when I'm not using it. Once all the wires were connected to the fuse box and to the switch, it was time to connect the backup camera wire to the 10 gauge extended wire he used behind the cabinets. Next comes the process of sealing all the drill holes that were put in the camper's exterior for the screws and for running the wires. When you purchase your camera kit from You Haloview, you will find a generous amount of supplies that they have included in the packaging, which includes extender wires and 2 ways to mount your LCD monitor. In addition to that, it also comes with a sun visor for a clear view of the screen on a sunny day. Thank you, You Haloview. There's my backup camera. I'm so excited. Thanks for watching this video. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. I'm busy painting the Airstream, so stay tuned for that coming up soon. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, please share it, and please subscribe.